of this section, Shi En and Horaku, are stabbed from behind, or that's the attack. So on the surface, they seem kind of strange and ridiculous because, like, how do you defend yourself if someone's stabbing you in the back, right? Especially with a short sword, because they're not grabbing first and then, like, to give you a tail. So how would you defend yourself that way? You guess it's
Be kind of difficult. Couldn't answer it.
Wait, what?
how you might defend yourself against being stabbed in the back.
Is your attacker coming in from behind you?
Yeah, they're coming from behind and running you through. That's the kata.
The only thing I can think to do would be 45 out of the way.
But first, how do you know it's even coming? I mean, if you know, here's the thing, like, I don't care how inexperienced you are, if you know exactly what attack is coming, you can defend yourself.
Right.
So that's why, like, you're always, like, trying to look for, you're being observant if the opponent does some kind of telegraph, right? So, like when we were training at night, I was like, don't cock your fist because you're telling me exactly what you're going to do, right? So when you're doing like this, like I can see it. So then it's easy to defend, or easier. Like one of the biggest things is the context of what's being done, right? So like all these kata are meant for wearing armor and on a battlefield where you've got debris on the ground's uneven, there's several different people around, some of your allies, some of your enemies. So a lot, when we were looking at, I think it was Saketsu, or maybe it was Taken, where you pull the arm behind, basically restrain them so another person can come through and kill them. So you're holding this guy back to hopefully have an ally come through and destroy him. And so you're trying to get away from that so you don't get disemboweled on the battlefield. But for Shi En and Horaku and, for these two, like something you might clue in on is if you see a shadow. So if the sun's behind you and you see a shadow of someone coming at you, just getting out of the way. It's like, okay, lateral movement, move, maybe I won't get hit. Or maybe you see a reflection, right? Or you hear them. You might hear the in-breath before they exert the effort to kill you. That's a big telegraph when you're, if you're fighting and someone grabs you from behind, has a bear hug around your waist, and their hips are away. The telegraph is hips coming in and in-breath because you're getting ready to lift you because you're heavy, right? And then dumping. And so you can see that when someone like deadlifts a lot of weight or something, or they do like a clean and jerk. And they actually teach to take that in-breath, lift, do your lift. Then like in the Bujinkan there's the kodachi test, 5th degree flight belt test. You'd have like a Shi En, soft sword. The person sits down and stays up facing away, and eyes are closed, and they let you know the test is about to start, and they wait, and they swing at your head, and you have to roll out of the way, and not get hit. And that's your 5th time test. So like, how that works might be a little mysterious. Some people say, oh, that's complete crap. But, like, people have, intuition is a real thing, right? If you're driving in traffic, and you've probably all experienced this at some point, get stopped at a traffic light, and you're just, like, waiting for the light to change, and you look over, and you see a person staring at you for a second, and of course they always, like, look back like they aren't doing it. Have you ever had that happen? Yeah. Everybody's had that happen somewhere. How do you know to look? It's not like you're just wandering around and then just happen to catch it. Because if you're wandering around, they would turn their head. They're like, oh crap, they're going to see me. It's like you look right at them, and they're like, ugh. But how do you know to look? Right? Or, the book, The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker talks a lot about intuition and trusting it and recognizing the signals. And I've tried to do some research on like any kind of scientific research on it. And it's all about, all the research there is on it is about decision making, whether you go, whether you choose left or right. And none of it's, I haven't seen anything on how it might manifest, right? Like, do you get a feeling in your gut? Do the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? Do you hear something? Do you see something? Like in your mind's eye or whatever. It could be any type of thing where you have a weird thought. Was it luck or was it intuition? And we don't understand anything about intuition, really. Or not that I've seen. But I think it's real and I think it can be developed. And so the Godon test is a test of that, like animalistic intuition. Something's trying to kill you, don't get killed. So perhaps training like this, these two kata are kind of in that realm. So, that said, let's do the kata. So, Horaku. So again, it's a stab from behind. So I'm trying to time it also. That's part of the practice. So you get it, catch its wrist. So the first part, like the getting out of the way, is I got a bad feeling. Was okay. There's the guy, and he was about stabbing. Or it may just be luck that, oh crap, and your reaction time at this point is important. Like shit, and so you crab. The next part of it is as you start to move, you rotate this over. And you're trying to knock this out of his hand. Right? And so this becomes, what do you got? Sorry. Grab the shoulder, hit, and then pull down. So grab, lift this up, keep this kakiori. Shoot over. Grab the shoulder, and pull. Okay. I know. So you get it, right? Start to rotate up as you're moving out. What if he doesn't let go? You talk already anyway. He's controlled for a moment. Right? Just be aware of it. So you get it. And, I mean, it's not nice. Right? You have it. Yeah. He doesn't really have it. No. It's just his fingers are curled. Right? Now I've got his fingers. I open up to give myself room for the kick. Right? So you get it. You hold, strike. 4. Keep this time. So you get it. Catch it. If it comes out of his hands, fine too. Strike. Then move forward. And it's on his elbow. And then maybe I need to draw my sword if I have one, since he has a sword. Okay?